Welcome everybody, welcome. Go Beer, Go Home, and this is Third Rail Thursday. Just gonna wait for... Sometimes there's an ad at the beginning. We'll skip that. Welcome everybody. Hi. Happy Thursday. And tonight we're going to be working on the yard still. Still a bit more to go. I'll get into it. I'll talk about some of the things that I've done this past week, and also some plans that I have. Some things that I've cooked up recently. So it'll be fun. But first, of course, you guys, you always show up early, so I do want to say hi to everybody who is watching from home. Who got the cookie? I think it was Brian Ferguson. Sorry, not the cookie. I take it back. You get the Timbit. And then Trains by Perry was not too far behind. Mark missed out again. Bub031, how's it going? And Todd Armstrong. BN Ironwood, how's it going? Anthony Borden. And then we had Mom and Son pop in. Tammy and Ray, they said hi. They couldn't stay tonight. And then we've got N-Scale Dystopia. Denny, he's probably working hard on his layout in the background there. Hi, Denny. And we got Dundas Junction Model Railroad James saying hi to the crowd. Hello. And of course we have Mr. Trackside Mike keeping it on the tracks in Southern Ontario. Welcome. Mr. Dwight Curley, how's it going? Todd Armstrong. Did I say hi to Todd already? I don't know. He gets two highs then. Ronald, how's it going, Ronald? And Dan's Model Railroading Journey, hello. Welcome. And Around the Layout Podcast, how's it going? These are so cool. Story about that in a minute, but yeah. And Glenn, how's it going, Glenn? And Floyd. Awesome Possum. Brad, how's it going, Brad? All right, and John. Hello, John. So, as you guys know, every Thursday night, me and a group of Canadians, we go live every single Thursday. First Thursday of the month, that is Denny N-Scale Dystopia. So if you're a big fan of highly detailed layouts and just amazing work in general, N-Scale, I know a lot of you guys might be HO, but you still got to have mad respect for those N-Scalers. It's very small, so big detail, small scale. And then, of course, it's the second Thursday of the month. That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. I'll go here, go home, right? Next week, of course, we've got Eminem Rails. And I don't know what he has cooking, but hopefully it's a second level on his layout, maybe. I don't know. We've been bugging him for years now. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, the last Thursday of the month, given that there's only 4 weeks in a month, then we do GVO After Dark. So we have a fun-filled month planned for everybody. So, and then we've got Heath. How's it going, Heath? Heath, I worked out my reversing loop. I'll talk about that in a bit. I'm quite happy with myself because wiring, right? Not my thing. Ugh. But so we'll talk about that a bit too. Early this week, of course, Bubs came by. I think it was Sunday. And he's like, I have a late birthday present for you. And, I didn't really, I'm like, cool, Bubs, always gets me something for my birthday, and I always appreciate it. And then I open up the box, and there's these two suckers in there, and I'm like, I hate you so much, because I know that they're like, that's not a cheap boxcar. But it was like, it was one of those, I hate you, but, you know, you're the best. Oh, it was Saturday? See, that's my week for you. I don't know the difference between these days anymore. And then he's like, you just got bubsed. And I'm like, that's now a thing. So I totally got bubsed on the weekend. And yeah, I'm super happy with these. If you guys did not see my unboxing and review on these Prairie Shadows very limited edition box cars, please go check them out. Even after I was done, I was really looking at them. I'm like, oh my God, these are awesome. Yeah. So yeah, definitely go check them out. And thanks again to Bubs for that. So yeah, one of these things that I've been kind of mowing over the last little while is, besides the track that's in my yard, now for those of you who don't know what I'm modeling, it's a part of CN. It's one of 3 yards that are in Toronto, and it's the CN Mac yard. Yeah, it's a dumbed down version because I don't have a hump yard here, or, you know, a lot of storage, but I kind of combined the yard portion with all the storage tracks in with the section that has like a reversing loop, and it has like the maintenance area as well. So there's a huge maintenance facility, and then yeah, then just north of that, I think it's north of it, there is you know, tracks, like staging tracks and all that, yard tracks, etc., etc. And I'm like, okay, well, I kind of have it down where, you know, where all my tracks are going to go. And I'm fine with that. I got a lot of track down, you know, and I think that most of that is due to the good people over at Otter Valley who sent me a bunch of stuff. And I was able to, you know, kind of construct a way here and do it really quickly and get most of this done. So big shout out to OVR team, because honestly, they're the ones that are, you know, keeping me in my my niche hobby here very very entertaining. Yeah, and so I've been working a lot on this, and as you can kind of tell here on my Helix as well, I'm up to here now. Last week it was down here, and I'm getting a little bit higher, you know, but I'm up to the 3rd loop. Yeah, it takes a lot of track. It eats the track. Hey, Anthony, how's it going? LCS, hello, welcome. So, yeah, along with, you know, kind of building the yard, working on the Helix, because Bubs was helping me with that too when he was here. If you come over, I put you to work. That's the deal. But yeah, when just before Bubs came over, this is part of my story here. So before Bubs came over, he's like, I'm going to the train store. You know, do you need anything? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to find a yard tower because, you know, I'm looking at pictures and I'm going to show you. This is something that I want to build here. So this is, and if I get it correctly, it's the CN administration building. And it also, you can kind of see the top left there, there's a tower, and that watches over the yard. Where the camera is currently, that's on Highway 7. And that's the side, basically, of the building. But it's a big monstrosity, and there's like a metal fabricator. What are they called? Oh, no, it's a paving company that's in the back as well. So I want to kind of turn this into a backdrop building, because everywhere in front of that is all the yard and staging tracks and whatnot. So that's kind of what I want to replicate. So the shape of that tower, it's a little ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to scratch build that. Let's be honest, I'm okay with scratch building, but that's like next level. And also, I don't have all the tools and whatnot, like, you know, 3D printer, laser cutter, and I wouldn't know what to do with it, even if I had it. So, I had found this one kit, and I think it was a Model Power kit. And I'm like, Bubs, if you see this at the store, can you let me know? They didn't have it, but they had something else, and I'll show you guys what they had, because he ended up grabbing it for me. There we go. You can see that little tower back there, and I'll see if I can zoom in here. There we go. And the main structure there, the bigger part that's taller, is the exact kind of size or shape that I want. And that's the location too that I want it to be. So I'll be able to take that right off of there because I've already done that. It's just sitting there right now. So I'm going to build a 3D model of that building, and I'm going to try to scratch build it the best I can, but I'm going to, of course, incorporate detail parts such as that little top tower part, just because, you know, that's what you would need to do in order to, you know, of course, build something like that. So when I was talking with Denny from N-Scale Dystopia, and he showed me this cool thing that you can do with Google, where you can basically go onto Google Earth or the satellite version, and I'll show you. I'm not going to do it on the computer, but basically I drew out a footprint of, and I don't even know if you can see this because I used a pencil, but basically you can pinpoint multiple areas using the satellite tool. And it gives you I want to say it's rough, but pretty close estimate as to how long of a distance it is. So I was able to map out the entire footprint of that building just by using Google Satellite. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to build a mock-up using foam core board. And then it's going to just sit there just for now until I, you know, get the materials to build a actual building. So that's one project I'm going to do. That might turn into my Saturday night kit build thing eventually, where I come back and I build this kit. But I'm not going to do that until I do the mock-up first. But that's kind of what the plan is. So, yeah. Anthony Dodge, how's it going? Yeah, the tower looks great. And you know what? It was only $15, which is even better because I'm destroying it. And I know poor Mike, I showed Mike and he's like, I need that tower. I've been looking for it everywhere. I'll keep an eye out for another one, but yeah, I need like just the top portion of that, and then the rest is going to go into my scrap pieces, I guess, kit, box bin for later consumption. Oh, $14. Yeah, not too bad at all. So on top of that, today I managed to get my reverse loop done, and I'm just going to show you here. So this here, obviously it comes out the Y here, and then it goes down and then comes back. So what I wanted to do was, and I wanted to keep it very simple. I talked to Dave Co, and Dave gave me a version of how to do it, but it was very complex. And because I'm still kind of learning this stuff, I wanted to take the easiest approach necessary for doing something like this. And all I did was, I guess I can kind of point it out to you. By the way, if you hear squeaking, that's just my chair. It's lame, I don't know, it makes a lot of noise. So, yeah, I split it here, and I did the same thing over there, and I put the isolated rail joiners in here, so they're the little plastic ones. Now, this is nailed down here, but I didn't tack down the entire loop just because I wanted test it, make sure everything's good. I've already done some preliminary testing, so I'm very confident with it, but not confident enough to glue it down or nail it down yet. But after that, I wired in. So I dropped feeders here and here, and then I was having issues because I would go all the way around and then it would stall at that end. And power would drop because my switch, which is here, so because this is going this way, I had no power going up this way. And that's because I don't really have feeders in my yard yet. So then I dropped feeders here. I connected them with the ones here, the earlier ones that the first ones I did. And you can see my little board here. That's not permanent. But once I had power here and power here, it didn't matter which way the Y went. And I could drive over this, go all the way around, go backwards all the way around, come back. And it's all because of the AR1 auto reversing detector or reverser. And this was something that I had spoken with Bubs about, and Bubs confirmed with Perry. And I followed the very detailed instructions that it gives you, and it worked out. It honestly, it was good. So when we look at, like, this is my cruddy drawing, I guess you could say, of this overall space. That should be more like this. So my Y, which is right here, everything coming up to these 2 points here is basically, it's wired the exact same. Then I dropped the feeders here, and that was my reversing section. I'll probably do a couple more, like one here and then one here as well, just to make sure that there's enough power going around here. I soldered everything really good, and I might not even need to do that, but I want to do it just to make sure everything is, it's good. And the AR1, which is Digitrax, I think it's like 35 bucks. And I run Digitrax everything. So I'm like, it makes sense to stick with Digitrax. I know there's a couple of different ones on the market. You could also probably make your own if you're super handy. That's the approach I did, and it works for me. You just got to figure out what works best for you and your layout. But that worked. One of the other things, because I've got lists upon lists of things, all the things I've been working on, all the things that I've been, I've got drawings of buildings and plans. One of the things that I have done is I've more or less settled or came to terms with what I'm doing with my second level. And if you can see it, I don't know if you can. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. There we go. Okay, so I know it's really hard to see, but this is my helix here. And I go up the helix this way, right? So coming up the helix, I'm going to be going across a big bridge, which is also the doorway here to my office. And I'll be going around. And then this is I'm going to have an intermodal section here. Now, that's freight. And I also have my passenger. I'm going to have a passenger service, which is going to go under the freight here. There's going to be a station in the front. And then it's almost like a separate branch line altogether, because I want it to be separate from my freight. And then it'll disappear under, come back out, go back up, and meet up with the main line so it can go down the helix and whatnot. On the top of the helix, I'm going to do my ethanol plant right here. It's mostly buildings, but I'm going to have some tracks with a side spur that goes off along the outside of my office. That way, it'll just be some extra runoff here so that I can kind of back the cars in and it'll be off the main line. But this is kind of where I've kind of landed on with everything. You know, I want a pipe load facility up here. You know, another bridge over here with some water. Yeah, it's kind of what I've worked out. I know that this is going to change another 100 times, knowing me, because that's the way it is. But I'm really excited to kind of work towards this. And of course, when you're doing something like this, it takes a long time. You know, even for everything that I've already done, I haven't been working on it for quite a year yet, but it is getting there. I find that, you know, eventually I'll have my main line running, hopefully, but we'll see what happens. And this is just, this drawing here is just an overview of the bottom section of my layout, like the yard area. So, you know, I've got the highways, the highway overpass or whatever that I'm going to have in 3 sections. I'm going to have a building up here, which is, it has CN on the side. I forget what it's called, but I'll be able to drop off some boxcars along here and, you know, kind of work them into the yard a little bit. And then, of course, the, what did I call it? The CN administration building is going to be up here, which is just back there. Yeah, I've got lots of plans. So many plans. But, there we go. But it all happens in time, right? Let's check on the chat here. Oh, okay. Mark's having an early night. Sounds good, sounds good. Let's see. Will the bridge be modeled on the CNR trestle near Eglinton Avenue alongside of the 407? So the particular bridge, let me see if I can, I've got a picture of it here. If you've driven through the GTA, well, you know, north of, like near Ajax area. I'm going to see if I can pull this up here. So there's this long bridge here. This is, I took this picture from Google Earth. On the left side of the highway, this is, you know, the Highway of Heroes here. And basically on the left side here, you've got the GO running right along. And let's see, which way am I going right now? This would be west. So we're facing west right now, I think. And basically, this bridge here, which is super long, it goes over, I think I have it written down here. How many lanes of traffic does it go over? Shoot, that might be on my other sheet. I've got so many different noted things here. But yeah, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 or 7 bridges here. And some of them are different, and it all goes on a curve. I believe it is just a single track, but I'm probably going to do it as a double track. And yeah, it even goes over top of GO tracks as well. So very cool. Yeah, so it'll be a challenge to do a bridge this big, but because there's nothing really under it except for highway, it's just road. So I'm really looking forward to... Yeah, I'm in the wrong lane right now. But yeah, so this here, this actually, when you cross over this bridge, it goes to Mac Yard. But when you go to the left here, over where Spur is, that heads towards Whitby. which is where I'm building my maintenance facility. That's my, yeah, so that'll be on the layout as well. That's all the top level, but this is just like, this is a skinny area that goes over or across a doorway. And I'm like, well, what do I put there? I don't want to put an industry. Might as well make it a bridge and, kind of go from there. A lot of big plans. I don't like doing the little stuff. I like, big imagination. So I gotta challenge myself, It's how you grow. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And because it's a couple of different bridges in general, it's a little bit of a variation there. Looking forward to kind of doing my version of it. It's not going to be, exact, but I do hope that I'm able to do at least the multiple sections. So then I have like the westbound and eastbound traffic, and it'll all be represented underneath. Lots of barriers, lots of little cars. It'll be fun. No residential area or town where the people go. I will include something like that somewhere, hopefully. I do want a downtown and whatnot as well. Not so much like housing, but like shops and whatnot. Again, this layout is totally different from my last one, where I could fit a little bit of everything. I could throw in random industries here and there. I do have to be a bit more strategic with this one. And I also want to use specific cars. So when it comes to what I'm running here, because I'll have my ethanol, I do want to have my cylindricals and my tankers. I want to get more tankers for sure. I have tons of cylindricals though. So I think I'm good there. With my pipe load cars, I do want a pipe load facility. And I have about 12 or 13 of those, but I could probably stand to get a few more, which are all the CN or the CN aftermarket ones. And then, of course, my box cars, small industries, my paper mill that's still in the other room there. I just need to get some, what are they called? It's chloride. What's the word? Rapido did those cars. Something chloride or something. Yeah, I'm really bad with remembering things. Model Beef alongside well-known hobby shop and model man. But yeah, so roadbed. Yep. And a lot of people, they always ask me about the cork roadbed and whatnot, and it's like, yeah, I find that like lifting it up, it gives it a little bit more of a better look. I mean, I could put it right flat down, but I don't know, just something about it where it's raised up a bit more. I find it looks a little bit better when it's raised up. So, but enough about me. I know. You came to talk trains and whatnot. But, so if you guys are working on anything, if you guys are chipping away, because I know that a lot of people like to listen while they work, let me know what you're working on. Let everybody know. We're a sharing community. We like to share things, and we like to talk trains. And that's what we do here. Of course, I'm going to do a bit of work now, because if I don't, then I'll feel very unaccomplished. I know I was feeling kind of sick, not sick, but like under the weather, last few days. So it was kind of hard to bring myself to, come and work on the layout and whatnot. Like I said, I got the video done for the unboxing of the box cars. But other than that, it's been pretty busy around here, I guess. So, yeah. And I did get my electrical set up. I got all my my new Digitrax system, and I also have my, what is it called, a LocoNet and my LNWI is hooked up here, and I'm able to do everything wireless again, which is great. And yeah, I've just been having fun, puttering around, doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that. But, of course, I'm going to run out of track eventually here. So what I do tonight will probably be the last of the track that I have. And I'm going to see if I can get another siding in, because that would be cool. That'd be cool to do. And you'll be able to see me do that. What do I do? I have to move these cars? Probably. So I'm going to do that first. And you guys will get to see, of course, me going around my... whatchamacallit? reversing loop. And of course, it's going to be the one time where it does crap out, so might as well do that part live, right? So here we go. Yeah, if it's going to happen, it'll happen while I'm live, that's for sure. This is just an old Athearn. Just going to grab these cars here as well. Canadian Locomotive Logistics, how's it going? Oh. Come on. there was a dirty spot.
Ow.
I think one of those Atlas cars is being real loud. I gotta clean this track too. I haven't cleaned it yet because I'm out of those pads for the whatchamacallit, the CMX cleaning machine. Mind you, it could be the wheels because I was running my other loco up this and it was going just fine. But this is just to kind of move it out of the way for now. Not a big deal. Oh, might be too heavy for the little Jeep. Whoop. That's fine. I'll just leave these cars here. It was definitely too heavy for it. Really just wanted to show you the reversing loop there and whatnot, but yeah, so that was fun. Again, it's not perfect. I have so many feeders to drop still and work on all that, so we'll see what happens, but I've got my work cut out for me still. Get some Mr. Clean pads. Is there something, is it thin enough? Hey Robin, how's it going? Yeah, I've got those box cars. So I'm just setting up here to do some work. Okay, so for this section here, I've already got this one line in. I have to add a second one. I'm going to move my station so I don't squish it. Definitely don't need that getting broken. Previous to the live show, because I've got one section here that I still need to cut some cork for. So I'm going to cut this one section first. And I'm probably going to want to cut it over here. I save all my pieces of cork for this very reason here. And I just needed a bit of a smaller piece. I think I showed you guys this before. I know I showed Mike and he really liked the idea. So I made a template for in there because it's such a weird shape. So I traced it out onto here. And look at that, it fits. Minus a little point here, but I don't think that matters too much. But I'm pretty happy with the rest of that, so that's cool. I just gotta glue it and pin it now. Pins. And this will probably dry relatively quick because I'm using the Lepage stuff. And I just tack it down, and I give it about 30 minutes, should do. It's probably more than enough. But I've got a bunch of other things that I need to do before I even put track down here anyways. I also have to cut a couple of pieces of cork for that as well. Again, big thank you to everybody watching from home tonight. I have a lot of fun doing these lives, and it's fun to share all this stuff with you. I'll probably do a layout update at some point. I just don't know when. I know I mentioned that I have to do one, but sometimes it gets backburnered. All you busy guys know what I'm talking about. Where did oh, duh, the glue's right here. I think I might have a small piece for in there. I don't want to waste this big, long piece of cork. Not that it would be a waste, but I think I just have a smaller piece here. There we go. And I just cut a little itty bitty part off of it. Bam. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so that splits into the two sections there, and that's all the cork for the yard, except for the one industry over here, and my maintenance facility. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, so basically what I'd be doing now, see that piece of track there? I gotta solder that to there. It's gonna come around to this here, which should be here more. There we go. Yeah, more like that. I think I marked it along here. It's probably under the cork now, but oh well. Thanks. You know, Deep Run, welcome by the way. The thing with the corner here, or even the yard in general, I was talking with Brandon about it the other day. Even if we're just looking at this section here, right? We've got the four main tracks, right? This is technically the main line here. These two are your, if you're running right-hand running. And then these two are left-hand. And then this one here is the station, right? So I've got the one track and it splits into two just for the station. But then we've got, these are all the, basically the yard and staging, and you can just dump your cars here and whatnot. And that's 6 tracks. Mind you, one of them is obviously going to be a yard lead. But what it allows me to do, having this space right here, is that I could easily add another track here. And I could easily add another track here. However, I do want a bit of space so that I can put like a service road and whatnot. Same thing with down there, right? I can add more tracks in there. I know it's just 3 and 3 and it kind of goes out a bit. Just kind of filling out the section a bit more. Eventually I can add some more tracks, maybe some stub ends, whatnot. Nothing too crazy, of course. But yeah, it'll allow me to grow this yard. And just basically based off of how many cars I have, if I need, you know, more for whatever reason. If I don't have enough, if I need to put like a, you know, another siding for like a passenger train or something, whatever, you know. But yeah, that's basically how I thought this one out. And I can totally expand with it. Now, I don't want to expand back here because I'm going to have a big building back here. And over on this side here, so you can kind of see, like with the way that the switch is here, this is going to come up, and then there's going to be 2 tracks back here. But I want it to go up the grade because I want it to be a little bit higher than this. and this is where there's a CN building, and the cars actually go inside, and then it goes down to, I've got a small crossover here. This is just a small one, and I want to be able to come out, stub end, and then either go behind the cars or go in front of the cars. It's almost like a runaround with a little industry, and that's how it looks in the real world. So yeah, I just gotta see what I can do as far as getting up the grade, and then how much room I have overall there. But yeah, that's not on my list at the moment, but I do have the parts for it. Except I'd need another curved right. Yeah. Is that a... Yeah, Mike. This guard tower? Is this the one you want? Oh, jeez. What the heck is going on here? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I took it apart. I needed that top part off of it. I'm sorry. I'll find you one. Even better, commission Bubs to find you one, because he has a lot more luck than what I do. Say, Bubs, I need you to find me another one of those. Whether it's brand new or previously built, because that one was built. That wasn't, I didn't build that. So we just got to find you one. That's all. Did that just happen? Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, it did. I'm sorry. I can hear him now. Chris, no! Tornado. Oh yeah, yeah. That was. I mean, the thing. It came apart pretty good. Some of, like, I don't know what type of glue the person used to put it together with, but it came apart pretty easy. It was not a match for me, or no match. You guys were talking about like buildings and stuff. I want to incorporate this ITLA kit here. I worked so hard on that thing, and I don't even know where to put it. So, yeah, it's tough. There's a lot that I want to add, but when you're limited with space, and I'm trying to do things not overly prototypical, like I can't make it all fit. So I kind of have to, play around with it a bit, see what I can fit. But I won't know for sure until I've got track down and, certain things in certain areas, what works, what doesn't, and then kind of go from there. Like even this, I could throw another track in between here and here, right? Send it up that way, have another track. Do I want to do that right now? No, because then I'll never get to run trains or anything, because I don't have all the pieces. If I had all the pieces, it'd be a different story. I'm just trying to run trains here. Well, that's why I moved it. Otherwise, there would have been the death of my building, right? Like, it's right here. And normally I won't be reaching over it. Because, like, this is as far as I can reach, like right here. And yeah, I do want to put something up back there, but I'll be over here reaching over there. So just having a station right here could be problematic. That's the thing, you know, because this is 40 inches deep. I think that's where we landed on last time. Yeah, it's 40 inches deep, so just over like 3 feet, 4 inches. So I wanted to get a lot in here. And because it's, like, this is, you know, waist height. It's my hip, my belt line. So I don't mind reaching that far. So that's the other thing. A lot of people will say, well, you know, I prefer having the layout at eye level. Some people will say, "Oh, I like the bird's eye view thing." You know, I've got both. The top level is going to be, you know, eye level. It's just whatever works, right? If I did this all one level, yeah, like that video I posted a week or so ago, because what Facebook is doing, or like I got an email from them, is that live videos, they're only holding for like 60 days or 90 days or something going forward, like starting in, I think, May. So that means really old videos or lives that you took on Facebook, they will be removed. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to extract those, because some people have never even seen them because they were like 10 years ago. You can tell because Mark looked like a baby in it. So I wanted to, you know, take that and re-upload it. Also, because it's my 10-year thing, I kind of found it was necessary to kind of reminisce. Because I really miss running trains with these guys. And that layout I had at the time, I mean, personally, wasn't the best layout. But I've learned so much since. And you can really see how much somebody grows just by looking at the layout they used to have versus the one they have now, or what they've done since. So I look at it and I'm like, oh, you know what I did wrong there? You know what I should have done? Yeah. Yeah, I know Facebook, I mean, at the time I was just trying it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to do a live on my Facebook. I think I had more followers on Facebook than I did on YouTube anyways. But then it was like my sister and people I went to high school with who were watching. And it's kind of like, no, you know, they don't get me. You know, I'd rather share stuff like this with people that do understand. So then I started doing them on YouTube. So. Or sharing to YouTube. I was already uploading videos anyways. Might as well do lives. Sorry, I'm kind of moving you around here. I just gotta have access to all this stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't have a lot of nails left either, so I kind of have to be somewhat mindful here of how I'm putting things down. Soon I'll need to do a replenishment of supplies. Pine Valley, how's it going? That's the problem with not having a local hobby store anymore. You cannot look at it beforehand. Foam road bed. Yeah, and Walters is doing the foam road bed as well, right? I don't know which one's better. I'd like to know. That'd be cool. Someone did a comparison. Okay, so then I need my clippers. We use Rapido at the club. Yeah, whatever works. Trackside cork is a world shortage. You guys get an email from OVR? I'm always getting emails from OVR. Funny you ask. So now if it took, let's see, I moved in July. Didn't really start till August. So August to September, October, January, February, March, April. So it's only been 8 months so far that I've been working on this layout. So not bad. Another 8 months, I'll probably have the top done. I'm really just excited to do the scenery, if I'm being honest. But I know, you gotta do all the other stuff first, right? Let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I mean, I could put all 3 of those going around there, but that wouldn't get done. Is that really how many I have left? Yeah, that might be about it. And I do have that one. That would probably be my best bet. No, let's do the one. Oh, yeah. So I mean, Lauren's just not gonna go over because like when they get stuff from America, it gets shipped to I believe Buffalo, and then he goes over and picks it up and then brings it back. But with the tariffs in play right now, I mean, like come on, it'd be a pretty big bill on top of that. So I don't mind him waiting if it means getting a lower price. I've just been getting a lot of stuff that's just Canadian, personally. There's still a lot of great Canadian manufacturers. So it's local and you don't pay any of that extra stuff. Now it's a little bit harder depending on what you're looking for. There's always the possibility of other stuff. My file is here. Really sorry about the filing sound. It's gotta happen, guys. Those SD50Fs just came out from Aurora. They're really nice. I mean, people are looking for Canadian alternatives already, so might as well do it there too. That train stuff. Okay, gotta solder that. Sorry, gotta move this. It's in the way. Should probably move my station platform as well. It would be irresponsible to try to do this with that in the way. Like, because I see a lot of guys talking about, the prices of things that are coming out and whatnot. And yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm not impressed with a lot of it. And, when it comes to the price of certain things, and I feel so bad, right? Especially for N-scalers, because like the new N-scale F40s, the Via Rails, that were announced, all the wraps, $350 a piece. I paid $310 for mine when they were done in HO scale. So to see that it's $40 more for an N scale, that's crazy. So yeah, I just feel bad for the N-scalers now. That's all it is. And then for a lot of these ones that are HO, that are about $450, $460, $470. I mean, if you're a collector, for sure, you're probably going to spend the money, which I don't blame you, because you're a collector. But that's the kind of thing where, like, well, kids won't be able to afford that stuff. I'm sure parents still bat an eye at the 300, 350 for a Sound Loco now. So it'll just deter kids from being able to join in the hobby. The one thing I didn't understand is that they've already done F40s, so the tooling already exists. And it's my understanding that usually when the tooling of something, when you do the second run, or third run, or fourth run, it's basically you take the price that it was on the first run, you add 3%, just to kind of coincide with the time, because the first run might have come out 2 to 5 years ago. So yeah, of course, it's going to be a little bit of a different price. But typically it would be like a 3% increase. That's not 3% though. Yeah, same with me. It's like I enjoy the hobby a lot. I understand that it is one of the most expensive hobbies, cars being first, then model railroading. But at what point do we say, "Nah, I'm good. Don't need it that bad." So I don't know. To each their own, right? But yeah, I just think it's getting a little ridiculous. Just a little. That could be just because of the tariff price, the increase there. It's hard to say. They said that when you buy something now, they include on the memo what the tariff would be. So you can actually see, okay, this is how much it physically is, and then this is how much the tariff is. So you can always make your call from something like that. For me, I'm not really interested in buying the new stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I've missed out on over the last year, maybe even 2 years. And I think it's an opportunity for me to go back and consider something that is still available, but something that I might have missed out on already because I was buying something else. You know what I mean? Like you'll see something will become available, and then you're like, okay, I don't have the money right this minute, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to get that in like a month. But then something else comes out, and then you're like, okay, well, shoot, I want that more because that's the new, So then you end up getting that instead. So you still haven't gotten that other thing yet. But this is the opportunity where you can get the older stuff that you might have missed out on, and you're not paying a tariff on it because it's been here for months. So that's something to consider. Let's see, Split Rock. Oh my gosh, it's Split Rock. Hello, Split Rock. Let's see. Pick up an old Atlas Yellow box with Kato drive, better running engine than anything certain. True, true. They're easier to fix, I find, as well. Todd said, Chris, you're right, absolutely right about price increasing in tooling, but I've recently found out that in these days of 3D digital design, the second run uses all new tooling. Ah. Let's see. Well, yeah. Some companies. I know Athearn's been pushing the same tooling on certain things for years, and they never update their tooling because it's the exact same thing. They'll run it into the ground. They don't care as long as people are still buying. But yeah, it's definitely not every company. And then if you have companies like, let's say, Scale Trains, a lot of their stuff is new because themselves as a company are new. Aurora is new. A lot of their tooling is new. Then, of course, you've got Bowser. So Bowser, the way they build their locomotives and stuff, much like many other manufacturers, is that, they'll have a shell and then 20 different cabs, 20 different noses, and then all the little accessories for the bodies. They might even have 20 different bodies. And then, they're mixing and matching pieces, adding grills on, blah, blah, blah. So every piece that they have is specifically configured to that road name. So, yeah, they have to add new tooling, but there's also a bit of old tooling as well. Because you'll take an SD40-2, and a lot of the body will be similar, but then, of course, it just needs a different cab, because you're doing it as let's say, a wide cab at that point. Yeah. You can always tell if it's new tooling and whatnot if it takes over a year. If it takes like 2+ years. Because they'll announce it, they'll get their pre-orders, which is usually within 3-4 months. And then if it's been a year and it still hasn't, come out, there's a really good chance that it had to be tooled. There's certain exceptions where if one company releases an SD40 and another company wants to release an SD40, they'll push back their release or not doing it if they're similar, and they'll push it back for a year or two because they don't want to flood the market. At least you would hope they wouldn't want to flood the market, because that wouldn't make sense. Then you've got all these SD40s sitting on a shelf somewhere with nobody to love them, Yankee Dibbler has a Via Rail 1500 switcher for half price, DCC and sound, new Athearn. They're having a sale. By the way, where are you going to put the yard office on your layout? I'm glad you asked, because I have a picture of the yard office, the building that you gave me. So I've got that building there, and it's actually right across from it. So I'm not sure if it's going to go up here between these tracks, like just up here a bit, or in here next to the service road. I'm not 100% yet. I'm still waiting for the weather to get nice out so I can use my spray cans and whatnot. So I haven't really touched anything with that yet. But I am thinking, I'm thinking long game here, I got to pre-plan for that stuff. That is being upgraded and improved. Hosting an operation weekend for people from around the world at the end of April. That's sweet. Are you going to do it live? I know you've done lives before. Well, Split Rock, I think, because Sparky normally does an American YouTuber meetup thing, but he normally does it in the States. And word on the street is that he's going to do a Canadian one this year. So that might be an opportune time to come up, say hey, get to meet a lot of the Canadian guys and anybody else who does want to travel up. I don't know where he's at with that because I haven't spoken to him directly. But, there's going to be some sort of shopping involved, trains, real ones and models. He's usually really good at planning something like that, so. Last time we did a Canadian one, I hosted that, and we had DJ's Trains come up, and it was really nice to meet him. He's a really nice guy. Have I ever told you guys how much I love laying track? I'm not even being sarcastic. I love doing it. I could do just this, It's a lot easier because there's cork to follow and whatnot. But, laying cork is okay. It's fine. I gotta do it anyways. But I love laying track. And, yeah. It's fun. And of course, at the end of August, we're going to be doing our trackside barbecue in Smiths Falls. Done that for the last three years. I think this would be the 4th year. Keeps getting bigger and better every year. I don't think we're at the point yet where I need to get it catered, but that would take away from the whole barbecue aspect of it. Oh, okay, he's having it in August. Okay. Does Toronto have a huge train show? No, not anymore. Like, there's a couple of different ones in the Toronto area, which, you'd be looking at, like, the Barrie train show. There used to be the Greater Toronto train show, which was Brampton, but the owners of that, or the organizers, kind of like gave that up. And then there's smaller ones. We can call them smaller only because, Ancaster, Woodstock. Come on, guys, help me out. St. Thomas, Waterloo, Little Canada. So yeah. So, I mean, there's lots to do in the Toronto area. But, yeah, usually when I go down that way, gotta go to the Otter. Gotta visit Otter Valley, right? So let's see here. So I think I want to... So I'm going to snip a couple off here. Off here. I'm just prepping some flex track here because I had a few pieces. Is Perry still in the chat? Midland, yep. Prescott, yep. Yeah, I definitely can't remember them all. For sure, I can't remember them all. And I think it's mostly because I don't really go to any of them. I know, it's kind of a shame. It's a long drive for me, because most of those are southern Ontario, where I'm up near the Quebec border in Ottawa. So I don't really partake in all the other shows unless I'm making a point to come out to that general area at that time. One thing I really have to do is feeders, but I was hoping to get all my track down first. Darn these joiners. Okay. Take two. There is nothing here downtown Montreal. Ronald, what was that show that they had, and I'm pretty sure it was in Montreal, where you would go to this mall parking lot, and there was a shuttle bus, and you take the shuttle bus, and it takes you right to the show, because everybody wanted to park in this parking lot. I don't know if it's because it was free, or just there's more parking. And then you take the shuttle bus to the show, and you can take the shuttle bus back. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Sparky, true or false? Are you doing a Canadian meet and greet? I know I should have probably just texted you. I could have just texted you and said, hey. But, I'm always busy, so I don't get a chance to. Yes, it is named 3 times. It worked. It's a conspiracy still, but it worked. Ah. See, the joiner either goes too far or not far enough, and then... Dorval. I'm taking the Via to Quebec in July. My one is in Dorval. Working on behind-the-scenes tour of the St. Thomas Station, tour of the Box Tower, and the museum. Sweet. St. Thomas, home of the elephant that got hit by a train. Right? I got that right? It's the only thing I know. Yeah. I just arrived back from Denver from a large meet and greet of TikTok model railroaders. The Rocky Mountain Train Show was big. After that, over to the Waterloo Railroad, tours and rides and working and having dinner and moving train. Sweet. The Waterloo Railroad, is that the one where it's in a park and it's a club, but they have the ride-on trains? I don't know what scale that would be. Somebody will tell me. They'll say, Chris, do you not know your scales? And I'm like, yeah, I just don't know what scale the ride-on one was. Put me down for one of those. Not that I have much of a backyard to put a ride-on train in, but I'd love one. Chris May, how's it going? Luxury Venture, how's it going? Yeah, I don't know. I can't do TikTok in general. I just, I barely do Facebook. I do Instagram, quite often. And I mostly do YouTube. So when something like Twitter or TikTok comes out, it's like, even Discord. I hear a lot of people, this isn't even on. I hear a lot of people talk about Discord, and I'm like, I just can't. There's so much, I feel like if people want to watch, they'll follow me here. I don't think there's anything wrong with YouTube. I mean, there's lots wrong with YouTube, but there's nothing wrong with posting to YouTube and having people watch, right? Yeah, it's at Go Viera Go Home. Look me up. I'm also on Facebook under the same name. It's neat because when I upload to Instagram, let's say if I upload a picture or a reel, it automatically does it on my Facebook. And I was having this conversation with Pine Valley, and it's very, very handy stuff it's less work. You're doing the same amount of work, but it's like less, if that makes sense. Yeah, whenever I hear TikTok, I think of these stupid trends and whatnot, and I can't be bothered. Kids eating Tide Pods and all that stuff. It's like, ugh, come on now. And then when Rapido said that they were doing TikToks, I'm just like, do we really need to? Is this really a thing? Like, which audience are they trying to get a hold of there? By the way, because this is a huge curve, and I'm making this flex track is going around a curve. I solder on a straight. Remember that, kids. Always solder on a straight. And it's going to make the whole process way easier. And it's going to be a lot cleaner once I put it in there. TikTok is more lucrative than YouTube. Live streams collect a lot more. I guess. I mean, if you're doing this for money, then yeah, I guess you want to do what will bring in more cash, but this is more of just a hobby thing, right? There's even lots of talented people that don't even post. I see some of these guys and I'm like, do you have a channel? Do you have, pictures or, whatever of your work? And they're like, no, I don't post. And I'm like, you should. Because it's like, why? You're like one of those best kept secrets or whatever you want to call it. That's crazy. And I act all flabbergasted that they don't post. It's not for everybody. Not everybody does that stuff. It's understandable. Ugh. Sparky, are you going to be posting a video soon with more details, or are you waiting till things are finalized? These guys are setting up conference calls here. Uh, 4:30 comes early, and the old buzzard is fading fast. Great work on the layout. It's looking just like a mini Mac yard. That's what I'm shooting for. Thanks, Todd. When you have, again, it doesn't have to be prototypical. I mean, I'd love for it to be prototypical, but when you don't have the space for something as immaculate as that putting in key features that when you look at it, you can say, oh, that looks familiar. That looks like, you know, XYZ. And then you feel really good because that's what you were going for. And you didn't have to tell them what you're modeling. They're just like, oh, this reminds me of this location at this time of year. I used to rail fan there all the time. That brings me back. CP Whiskey Creek and N-Scale. Oops. I unplugged my cable. How's it going, Chris? There's so much track here. So much. Like, look at all this track. And Denny keeps telling me, he's like, oh man, if I had all that track, I'd be filling it up with all my stuff. And I'm just like, I'd love to, but I know I'll be shifting it down and moving it out to there, and I'd run out of room. And it's really difficult for me to work if I've got all my cars out. So once I get to that place where I can start populating everything, I'm going to be so happy because, I get a lot of the stuff out of the boxes. But even right now, most of my stuff is in plastic containers. You guys saw the video where I did a whole new organizational way of putting my trains away. And that's typically what I do now. But there's still a lot that's still in boxes. So it'll be nice once I have everything out and about. Out and about. Chris, Mark, Denny, Dave, and Tim would love to help join this meet and greet. And everyone. Yes, of course. I think Toronto's a bit more doable. Well, I don't need a passport. But yeah, it's very doable. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys, like, I haven't met Todd in person yet. And Canadian Locomotive Logistics, I have not met him in person yet. And James, I'm still yet to see James's layout in person. John, have I met you in person yet? I don't know. I don't think I've met you in person yet. Forgive me if I have. I'm spacing right now. It's probably because I'm tired, but no excuses. And I don't think... Have I met Floyd? I don't think... I might have met Floyd in person. I know I've met Chris. I think everybody's met Trackside Mike. James was at my house Thursday? Last Thursday? James, when were you at my house? James stopped by last week. He was in the Ottawa area. Yeah, you gotta take Sparky to Van Horn. That's the spot. I could see Sparky having some fun there. Okay, so I think that should be able to get me around the corner there. Now the only thing I gotta do now is I gotta remove those pins and cut that piece of track down. Possibly. I'm shy too, so if I don't know people, I don't really, go up and talk to people willingly. People usually will come and say hi to me, and then that usually breaks some ice. This is going to be fun. Okay. So that's pretty far away here. Yeah, we got hit with snow the other day. It was very random. There was no snow, and I woke up the next day, and all my wife said was, "Don't look outside." And I knew right then and there that it was going to be a bad day. So I'm just kind of easing this flex track to go around the corner here. And I think I found where I need to snip this. Let's see if I come back a bit here. Yeah, right about there. Trainitis. I need to add more lights underneath here as well. Where is... Oh, there it is. And my knife. Yeah, I'm basically done with winter. If it doesn't snow anymore, I'd be okay with that. It's April now. I should be worrying about, like, rain, you know? Rain should be the least of my worries. Instead, I have to worry about snow. I have 5 nails left. Dang. How am I going to get this done? This is where I revert to gluing everything down and then regret it later, just because I want to get it done. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just, you know, you tell yourself you're going to just use nails. And it's all fine and dandy until you run out of nails. Then you have to start gluing everything. And I should solder that so that it holds. Is this still on? No, it is. I'm almost done the yard, yay! I know, I could have probably made this a bit more complex, but again, I really just want to get this done. I'm very happy though that the reverse loop works, because now all I got to do is wire all this, and I think it's mostly just my yard that does need to be wired still. And then I got to connect it to the other room, and then connect that other room to the helix. Right now, most of it's going off of track power. So when I do run a train, the power pack is right there. See the Digitrax there? So the Digitrax is powering the track right above it. And in turn, that powers the track going through the office, which in turn powers this track here. And that's the only reason why I have power here. Now, obviously, when I flick a switch, whatever switch it's open to, so let's say this one will have power, but these ones won't. So, you know, I have to be mindful of that for now when running until I'm able to, you know, have all my feeders on and everything connected. And that's kind of what happened today when I was connecting the whatchamacallit, the auto reverser. It's good to know that for the next little bit, all I got to do is order boxes of FlexTrack. Most of my switches are done, except for the one curve turnout for over here, but that's a different story. I don't need that yet. So I can wait on that. Because most of this is done, I'm sure I'd probably just have to add like 3 or 4 tracks going around the back side here, and then I can basically from there just work on the helix till I get to the top of it. Again, no switches till I get to the top of the helix. So that's where I'll basically be at with that. Do you use Pico joiners for the reverse loop? Here, Mike, I'm going to show you exactly what I did. And I'm going to bring my camera over here and I'm going to show you exactly. Sorry about the shaky cam. Okay, so mind the shadow. So those are insulated rail joiners there. Because it's a straight section here, I went 6 inches out from this turnout here. I went out 6 inches and I cut it. I already had the loop more or less right where I wanted it. So basically when I added the joiners here, there wasn't much room for the rail to move left or right. So I popped those in there after I, sanded the ends. I have one feeder here, which is part of the main layout. So this is the main one, and this is to the left of my joiner. This is my reversing joiner, or my reversing feeder. So I did the same thing here with this back there, because I've got a switch there, and then 6 inches out from the switch, I cut it and I put the insulated rail joiners in there. There's no feeders back there, by the way. So when I connected to my AR1, because you've got 2 wires from there and then you've got the 2 wires from here, right? It didn't work on that side. So then I added, if you come down here a little bit, I added feeders there and now it does work. But those are also connected to this, right? All my local wires are here, red and white, positive, negative, and then I just ran those to the AR1. And now this entire section here has an auto reverse section to it. And that's all I did. It sounds really easy, but it was still very, complicated. It's my first day. It's my first day. So, but it works. I'm glad it works. Yeah, when you're not used to doing stuff like that, auto reversing, there's lots of different things, aspects, ways to enhance your layout. Yeah. I've always wanted to have an auto reverser, or at least like a Y or something. Now I can say I do. So, pretty happy about that. So that's as far as 2 tracks get you. So I will need another 2, 3 to get all the way down there, probably. Fire in the hole. What I'll probably do sometimes, like with the Helix, I'll connect 3 flex tracks together just because, you know, it's easier to just bend them around a giant curve. Always make sure you have a friend though, because it's still a little difficult to curve it without warping them. So I had Bubs helping me with 1. No, we added 2. Yeah. And then over the last couple of days, I had my son helping me with another couple of sets. So he's at least learning as well. So a lot of these sidings, like here, and I think even here, here, and here, it averages out where I can fit about 15 cars. And that's not 15 auto racks. First off, I have 1 auto rack. But what I mean is that, you know, your normal 50, 60 footer, regular size, like the bigger tank cars, you know, 15 of them. And that's 15 per thing. I'm not sure about the back ones yet. I haven't measured those with cars, obviously, because I haven't laid the track yet. But all these ones here and these ones, I can fit about 15 cars on each, which is pretty cool. And I'm not blocking anything at the switches either. So. Well, that's true. It goes quicker, you know? Like, I do a lot of this by myself, and I'm just chipping away, you know? Sometimes I work on it between work, after work, on my lunch, my days off. Last weekend I had 4 days off in a row, so I was able to get a lot of stuff done. But then today, you know, because I was off today, all the stuff with the reversing section, that was like my main focus. No, there it is. That was my main focus for today. And, you know, took a little bit, got it done, and I feel like I'm one step closer now to getting this whole thing, this main line done. So again, I'm going to solder on a straight here. Just got to kind of fix that. I had to jam that in there. It's going to work. But this only takes me to halfway through this section here. I still have all this, but I think I'm going to come this way now. So I'm coming off that switch back there, coming in this way. And then there's 2 switches there that I technically have to connect, but I don't really have to bother doing that all at once because I'm not going to be able to connect them anyways. I'll at least get one siding in here. Hey Peter, how's it going? Yeah, Peter, you missed it. I got my reversing section done earlier today, so this entire end here, this entire reversing loop, not including this camera, that all works now. So I can run a loop on the bottom, which is great. And maybe I should put that station back, seeing as how I'm done over here. And what I wanted to do, or what I am doing, I guess you could say, is I'm just adding more track to my yard. And I'm basically, so when I look back here, so this track here, added this, added the switch, added another flex piece into another switch, and then we're curving right around here. Curving right around the back there, you see the two. There's supposed to be a third one. I'm just not there yet because I ran out of track. And we're coming down this way now. So this is where we're kind of at. Okay, I do want to fix that. I hate when you put the joiner on and the joiner is not centered. So then you have to push it one way or the other here just for it to get a little bit more centered. Here we go. This is another one of those debates that a lot of people might have, because some people will say, well, I don't solder my track. Some people solder all their joints and whatnot, especially if it's on a curve. I tend to solder everything. I solder my track to my switches, but if it's going on a curve, I solder it to the switch and then I add the switch, as you guys saw me do earlier. I connected 2 strands of this. I connected it to the switch, soldered it on a straight, and then I connected the switch to the other part. At least if I'm adding the siding up here, I could probably stand to take some cars out of their boxes and throw them back there, maybe. Because it's out of the way of all this stuff here, right? So that could be an idea. Might be. Possibly. Cool thing here is I've got all these tracks here that I've spaced out with my ghetto blocks. They're all the 2-inch spacers, right? When I bring these next 3 down, which I'm gonna show you right now, because this comes in just like this, it's gonna get the ghetto block as well, and it's gonna be exactly 3 inches from this. Or sorry, 2 inches. They're a 2-inch, whatchamacallit, distance. Track center. So it's all going to look uniform in this area. They spread. I can add whatever in there, or I can, you know, do whatever. And then, yeah, it's all, and then even these ones going around the curves here, that's all going to have the spacers as well. So that goes halfway through that, and I've got 1 1/4 piece left. So I'm going to do that there. And there's like 0 light over here, so this is going to be fun. I already got a signal tower. It's that messy one right there that I knocked over, because I wanted to show Mike that I already took it all apart. It was this. This is all I needed from the signal tower. This piece right here. And I mean, that's even coming off of there. I'm probably gonna reattach that. Then I'm going to have to repaint it because some of this is like yellowing, which is gross. I don't know why. It's probably from the glue, but whoever bought this originally didn't paint it. They just put it together. So, we'll see. I'll see what happens, but well, there's more pieces from it. I'm sure next Thursday that I'm posting, you guys will see a mock-up of the building. And I'll be able to show that to you. Yeah, so this is all down, this is all in place here. And why isn't that sitting flat? That's that. Normally I sand this stuff down, but I think I forgot. There we go. Okay, so I just need to get a piece of track from here to there, which I think this one should be good. I'm gonna fix this up though. MLW, how's it going? There's already a couple of joiners in there. So as long as this track is clean, it'll fit in there. And then I should be able to, I might have to snip the end of it a little bit just to make sure it fits, but this is the perfect piece for here. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, this fits here. Oh, perfect. I mean, I might have to like splice a piece in there. Maybe. I don't think I can connect that right now though, because that giant curve that I just added, it's not glued down or anything. It's not nailed down. I don't have any nails, so I don't want to connect this until I know that that's good. Because I can tell just by looking at it from here the track is not centered on the cork. So I need to go through all that rigmarole first, and then I'll be able to, yeah. I also have to do my backdrop at some point. I don't know when. Probably soon, seeing as how all my backdrop is up. So I should probably get on that. Where is my pliers? There they are. Oop. Going good, weather not cooperating in my area, so garage still too cold to work out on the layout. We've got some buildings and other stuff. Oh, so that kit is a Keebri kit? Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you had found another kit for me, and I'm like, I already have this one. So if it's a Keebri, I mean, Keebri is pretty good. So, hey, you know what? That might even be perfect. You know what, I gotta take a little bit, like a hair. It's definitely too long. Okay, this is what I will do. I will cut it back to there. That way they're both flat. And then I'll take some ties off, make it fit, and then solder the whole thing. Bob's your uncle, and it should be good. Because yeah, it was not lining up. I have the way the cork is here. So the center line here and the center line here at the split goes with the switch. So as long as these line up here and here, then technically it's good. And that's how I follow my track lines, just in case you're wondering. Fire in the hole. Again, it's the whole waste not, want not. I try not to waste any of my pieces here, any track, any cork. My ties, I keep all my ties that I cut off. Even if I don't need all of them, I have a drawer of just ties. I could hand lay an entire layout if I really wanted to right now. Just because I've got so many ties. I wouldn't, because that's a lot of work. But I could. So. Yep. That is cool. I've actually been up in the yard tower. Oh, no way. That's so cool. SD40-2 out of Lego. That's pretty sweet. I didn't really show you guys yet because I got to do a layout update. But I expanded on my son's Lego layout as well. So check this out. So we got him a bunch of those flat greens there. Obviously that whole platform is new and it's extended out that way. So he's got a campsite and the track goes that way. Whoop. And then when I go around to this side, he's just recently got a train station and the scrap yard. So he's been, I know it's a mess. Like father, like son, right? My layout's a mess, his layout's a mess. But, you know, he's doing stuff and it's cool. If you're starting the video at the beginning, well, yeah, you're probably, if you're at the beginning, you're not even going to hear what I'm saying then. But, yeah, at least I ran a train at the beginning of the, the live stream. Near the beginning, just before I got to work here, but... Okay, so... This is a new one, right? Mark grabbed a couple of used switches for me at a local show that I missed out on. And I have no idea where they are. I think I used them actually, because he grabbed me two. So these should be brand new. So I don't have to worry about these. Not a bad price. I think it was like $15 for two switches. And they're Pico code 100, where you would normally pay $30 to $40 for one. And they look pretty clean. I trust, because Bubs was there as well, I trust their judgment when it comes to stuff like this. So they picked out some clean ones, and I think they're working out really well. Just setting up a switch here with some rail joiners. Okay. I should definitely prep this one as well. I feel like I've gotten a lot of work done tonight. Even if it doesn't look like I've gotten a lot of work done, I still feel like I've gotten a lot of work done. What kind of rail joiner is this? Gotta find another one. Hang on. Oh, here's a neat tidbit of information. I don't know if it really pertains to anything, but I got a rug down here now. It's a nice area rug, which fits perfectly for the area. This was in the family room, but it is now, because we got a new one for upstairs, so kind of took this one and I'm like, I'm taking this downstairs. And that was it. That was the conversation. I need a rug. Probably move that for now because that has to all be readjusted. But you see, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least 4 flex track pieces, 3 feet each. That's 12 feet. So that's a 12-foot piece of track there. Not sure how much I'll be able to fit on that. But in most cases, these ones here, that's 1, 2, 3 and a little bit, and I can fit 15. So I should be able to fit close to 20 cars on this back track here. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Oh, Russ, me too. I've seen a couple of those on like Marketplace and whatnot. It's so cool. And then whenever I go to a show and there's like a Lego setup, somebody always has like a, you know, a Lego Go Train or a Lego Via set. And it's like, you know, they don't sell those. So it's like, where are the plans to make something like that? You know, like I know you need the specific colors. So are they just buying the pieces in the correct color and then building their own? Is that it? But the Maersk one, or however you pronounce it, that one's really cool. I'd love to have that one because you get the containers, the Loco, which I think is like a GP38 or a GP40. Yeah. Okay, so I just got to solder a couple of points here. Stay tuned for next week when it's watch me ballast the entire yard. Yeah, all right. It'll probably be a while before I ballast this thing. Now there is still the maintenance facility, which is in here, which, you know, comes in off of this track, and then this is supposed to be maintenance facility. But again, I'm not in a rush to do that until I get my main line done. So who knows? I'll probably do something in the near future with this area here. Lots of real estate, but yeah, I'll just want to do all this stuff first, and then how did I do this? I think I might have, yeah, I already did this one. Okay. Don't you hate it when you're building a layout and you're doing your tracks and then they don't line up? Just kidding. I gotta... Oh, that's almost perfect. Oh my gosh. There's like... No, you know what? I could put a joiner on that, depending on how the rest of this goes. And then just snip the one rail. But I'm not going to do that part tonight because I want to get all that glued down and make sure that that's all good first. So we've got our 2 yard leads there that are in. This one's fully done, and then of course I gotta add this switch here. But yeah, I gotta put a little dummy piece in there, and then of course I'm gonna need more flex track to do the back track, and at least 2 more to do this second track. So we'll see what comes of that. I'm sure that'll be what I do next, or one of the next things I'll do. Because I've got tons of pieces that are like this, you know? It's just like the end stubble. I can put that in there, no problem, and then it's just a matter of doing this, the straight sections, but see what I mean when we're talking about keeping all your, whoop, I dropped one. Keeping all your ties that you cut off, right? All these little sections here like this where there's no ties in there, I'll come back and I'll clean the top off, and it'll slide right in there, and then it'll look like it, you know, there's no joint. I've got a huge pile of these somewhere. Insulated paint. Huh. Okay, I can put this away, and, well, not away, just over here. So I feel like I'd be more inclined now to run trains around, or at least back and forth in a loop. I haven't done extensive testing yet with this. Again, it's very hit and miss. This is my, I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this. This is my wiring car. Do you guys have a wire car? Well, but Chris, what's a wire car? I'm glad you asked. Because not everybody has a wire car. Now, especially for someone like Mike, and myself, where the train goes all over the place, you have a helix, goes up, down, left, right. You want to make sure that you stay consistent with what color wire is on what rail. And this is something I did on my old layout. You'll notice there's nothing here, just CN. But when I turned it around, it has a sticker on it, and it says red. I could do a white one and a red one, but I just did red. And red is pointing away from me right now. And all that means is that no matter where this goes, except for the reversing loop, right along here, all the rails on this side facing me, closest to me, they're all going to be white, and all these back ones are going to be red, because I use red and white wire. So that's my wire car. It goes with me everywhere along the layout, no matter where I am, and it'll always remind me which rail is what color. That way I'm not having to, you know, go down the line here and be like, what color is it? What color is it? The car will tell you. As long as nobody messes with it or plays a terrible joke on you where they flip it, and then that way you don't get your wires crossed. And, you know, because that would be terrible. That's a faux pas around here, messing with a man's wire car. Let's see. Yes, because you showed me, I have graffiti on it says ground and power. Ground and power. Oh, I guess, yeah. I guess because one... Yeah, that makes sense. What color wire do you use, Mike? Is it red and white, or is it... Because I know you picked up a bunch of wire today. What's your poison? What color are you working with? Geez, it definitely didn't look like this 2 months ago. I think in a matter of 2 months, I built the entire yard, finished the second level, got halfway up my helix. In a matter of 2 months. Like since the beginning of March, probably. Maybe halfway through March. So then less than 2 months. Yeah, because I remember I constructed most of that. Oh no, I did all this at the beginning of March. So I got the bench work done by mid-March because I got my gift cards and stuff for Home Depot. The joys of getting older, right? And then yeah, all this stuff came in like 2-3 weeks ago. Black and white wire. Black and red. Yeah, I think because the spool that I get it from the Home Depot, and it's red and white, and red's my favorite. So positive, white being black and white are negative, So that's how I look at it, and that's how I remember. That's how I know what's what. So yeah. Chris, you interested in that Via switcher by Athearn? How much was it? I don't know. Athearn is very hit and miss for me. And I know if you send it across the border, they're going to slap another $60 on it. That's what happened with, whatchamacallit, Mark. Mark ordered a locomotive from Train World. And then, I think it was FedEx, they hit him with a $60 charge within a couple of weeks after, he had already paid for it and whatnot. I don't know. I like the idea of a switcher. Those were only used in Montreal, though, and I think there's still one left. There was 3. There's either 1 or 2 left. Maybe if there's a Montreal guy here, they'll know for sure, but it's about 2 hours north of me and about 6 hours north of where this is. So I don't know if it'll really fit with the layout. I do like the switchers, but I'm not a big fan of Athearn. So it's a tough call. I'll let you know, Anthony. Thanks for thinking about me, though. Because, yeah, it's weird when you see, like, the Canadian stuff south of the border. I know that there's some people who, they do like that stuff down there. But, yeah, it's a little bit tougher for them to sell, for sure, when Via is nowhere, doesn't go through your neck of the woods, right? It's more Amtrak. If it was an Amtrak one, for sure, you'd probably sell a lot more of them, but... Yeah, let me know the price of that. I know you mentioned it earlier on in the chat there, but I do not remember, just because I've talked about it a lot and I've been mostly focusing on this stuff. So, but yeah, so Third Rail Thursday again. We'll be live again next Thursday. We'll be over on Mark's channel, M&M Rails. I don't know what he has planned, but hopefully it's great. I'm sure it will be. I had lots of fun watching Denny last week, and I already know that Denny's been working on quite a bit with the more scenery stuff now. That most, if not all, of this track is done, and that he can freely run trains now. Super jealous. That's the beauty of N-Scale, you know, you can have a small layout, but it still be huge, and then you can still finish within a couple of months. Crazy, crazy. Let's see. Yeah, and then of course Monday night you've got James and Mike. Whose channel are we on this Monday? I think, I want to say we're on James's channel this week. This Monday coming up. If you want to confirm, let me know. But yeah, everybody's here already watches you guys anyways, so no need to miss out on that. Other than that, I think I'm good for tonight. I think I've done quite a bit. My bed is calling me because I'm super tired, and I work all weekend, so that's great too. I work tomorrow, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So fun times, fun times. So I'll see you guys real soon. Hopefully, I can get back to doing the Saturday Rail Talk live shows. Again, you know, building kits and whatnot has been at a standstill just for the fact that I can't paint anything. You know, when it's cold outside and whatnot, I can only paint outside. So I don't do much of that during the winter, which is fine because I've had so much other stuff here to do. But hopefully closer to summer or even, you know, spring, when it starts to warm up a bit, I can get back into the habit of doing that. And I know that there's a couple of kits that I have right now that I need to convert. And that includes the Chocolate Factory. I have to repaint some of that. So, yeah, that'll be fun to do. And other than that, yeah, I just need more stuff now. I need more track, more switches, and then I can keep going on with this. I don't think you guys want to watch me drop feeders and whatnot, because, yeah, I'll be under the layout for most of that. So it might be a little bit harder to do a live while doing wiring. So I'm probably going to avoid that. And yeah, I'll do a layout update within the next week or so, I think. And then that way you guys get a real overview of everything. Plus there's a couple of other videos that are on the way. Maybe some reviews, maybe some unboxings, we'll see. And I can't wait to share it with all of you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Go Via or Go Home. And this was Third Rail Thursday. We'll see you guys real soon. But I have a train to catch, so